What's going on, good people? Make sure you subscribe to the Black Contractors Network channel below and hit that damn subscribe and like button so you don't miss any more of this great content going forward. Let's talk about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a celebration of African Americans' freedom, which came about following the end of slavery and the Civil War, and also the celebration of the end of slavery in Texas. Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. It originated as a remembrance for African Americans, but it has grown to be observed by people from all over the world. Roughly 1 year after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation going into effect, this was the first time for many African Americans that their freedom had been legally declared. The proclamation itself emancipated enslaved people in the Confederate States. However, slave owners in Texas kept them enslaved for 2.5 more years before federal forces arrived with news of their freedom. In order to understand Juneteenth, it is important to look at where we came from as Americans. We were founded primarily by Europeans who came here seeking economic freedom. Unfortunately, some were also seeking political freedom from oppressive governments back home. I'm looking at you, England. While many white immigrants left behind repressive governments at home for better opportunities here in America, many black American slaves did not have this option for generations due to lack of legal rights given by our Constitution until 1865, when President Lincoln issued his Emancipation Proclamation. After much bloodshed during our Civil War ended 4 years later on April 9, 1865, President Andrew Johnson had issued Executive Order Number 940, which declared all persons held as slaves within said states shall be then thereupon discharged from service or labor, effective immediately upon signing, which took place only 1 day later, June 19, 1865. Juneteenth celebrations are held across the country, especially in African American communities. Also, today's celebrations generally emphasize education and achievement rather than political protest or social change, but also by other groups who want to learn more about their heritage, such as Chinese Americans who were forced into labor camps during this time period and were not allowed to be educated or practice their religion until they were released from these camps after World War II ended, which gives them reason enough why they should celebrate Juneteenth. Public readings of the Emancipation Proclamation are held throughout the country, and celebrations are held on Juneteenth. Parade and picnics are also common activities during these celebrations. Family gatherings are often held during this time as well. Everyone loves a good holiday, and some states have an official state holiday or observance for Juneteenth, like California and Colorado. In California, the state Senate has recently passed a resolution designating June 19th as Juneteenth Day, and in Colorado, former Governor Ritter declared June 19th to be an official state holiday called Juneteenth. Illinois. Juneteenth is an official state observance in Illinois. It's also known as Juneteenth Independence Day. It commemorates the end of slavery throughout the country and celebrates African Americans' freedom from slavery and oppression. There are many celebrations on this day, including parades and festivals at public parks throughout Chicago and other cities in Illinois. In 2016, Governor Bruce Rauner issued a proclamation declaring that June 19th was Juneteenth Independence Day in order to recognize the historical significance of Juneteenth as well as honor its impact on culture today. It was signed by then Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who also issued his own proclamation recognizing the same date for Chicago's celebration of its history since 1866, exactly 150 years ago. It's also observed as an unofficial holiday in many other states. In 2020, after George Floyd's death, there have been renewed calls for all 50 states to make it a national holiday. And that's why it's so important that this year, on June 19, 2022, we all take part in celebrating Juneteenth. We need to remind ourselves what it means to be a goddamn loving, caring American, and why we should be proud of our country. And we need to reaffirm our commitment to making sure that no one is left behind or forgotten. That's why I'm joining with all 50 governors across the country in calling for Juneteenth to be made a national holiday. If we want our children and grandchildren to grow up knowing their history and feel proud of who they are, and if we want them to know what it means when someone says American or America, then Juneteenth needs to be recognized as a national holiday. It's important to remember history and honor our ancestors who came before us and who fought for our freedom. We'll never forget where we came from and how far we've come since then. We'll always remember what it felt like to be owned by others and how important it was to fight for our right to be free people. We are proud of those who fought for our freedom. It's a time to take a moment and reflect on the sacrifices that have been made over the years, and to appreciate the fact that we are able to live freely in a country where we can express ourselves freely and peacefully protest. Today is the day to remember those who fought for our freedom, and to be grateful for all they have done. And remember that success does not always equate to working longer hours. Please like and subscribe and share this video with anyone who might benefit from it.